Welcome to Wednesday, the 21st of April, 2021. Unfortunately, it's another cold day. If you're able to find a spot with sunshine and stand in the sun and not the shade, it really won't be all that bad, but we're still looking at temperatures well below normal across the western United States and across many areas of the USA. It's going to stay unsettled through Friday. There's nothing terribly bad through Friday, just unsettled. Unsettled meaning we're going to get a little of everything, a little sun, little clouds. One day warmer, one day colder, and there is going to be a little bit of rain and snow shower activity. Friday might even bring a couple of thunderstorms to a few areas. It is going to be warmer this weekend and into early next week, but it is going to be a bit windy. So there's going to be some windy areas Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have to deal with that. But that wind is what's going to make it warmer. We see a very slow march to warmer temperatures for late April and into early May. It's a slow process, but we don't see the next week or two nearly as cold as the past week or two. So there's a little bit of good news there, but you have to expect ups and downs. We're not there yet where the weather steadies itself out. That really honestly doesn't come until late May and as we get into early June. These are temperatures by noon today relative to their averages, and you can see a large area of green, blue, and purple where temperatures across the nation will be below average, really far below average where you see those purple areas. So this is covering a large part of the lower 48 states, even down into Mexico and Southern California, and even down into the Florida area. It is colder than average. Now this cold air is going to be stubborn to move out. And you can see that since April 1st, the last 3 weeks, anywhere you see blue or green, temperatures have averaged on the whole below normal. Now this includes the very warm first week of April. These blue areas here that actually goes all the way to Alaska and all the way down into the deep south here, this area of cold been very persistent and really dominating over the last 2 weeks. So if you think April has been cold, well, it has, especially if you erase that first week of April that was so warm. If you look at the last 90 days, this is what temperatures relative to average look like across Canada and the United States. And you can see that big swath of blue along the east slopes of the Rockies and the pockets of green. Now, this is exactly the opposite of what we had for October, November, December, and most of January when it was warmer than normal. So if you have been thinking that, really it's the second half of winter and spring has really been cold, well, you're right. As we take a look at the upper level pattern today, two things I want to show you, two little features. By afternoon, we've got a weak little low over western Utah and eastern Nevada, and another little wave coming in up here. These are little low pressure systems. This one will be tracking across the area later today and tonight, and it is going to produce later today and tonight some rain and snow showers over parts of Utah, parts of Colorado, southern Wyoming, and into the high plains. This next system comes in behind and arrives on Friday, and the end result is going to be the same. It is going to produce a little bit of moisture. And this is where that system is on Friday, swinging on through and moving on out with a little high pressure ridge building into Oregon and Northern California. And this is what's going to be building into the area this weekend. So we've got to get through today, tomorrow, and Friday before things begin to get more settled. This is the precipitation forecast through Saturday. And the next two systems, the one coming through tonight and tomorrow, and the next one coming through on Friday, this is where it's going to produce moisture. You can see some of the northern and central mountains of Colorado. We'll see some nice spring snow. Generally scattered light precipitation in the form of rain and snow. Even a couple of thunderstorms could be moving across this area here during the day Friday into Friday evening as that Friday system passes on through. So a little bit of moisture, but not a lot. As we get into the weekend, this is the 500 millibar, or where we have the winds at 18,000 feet by Sunday morning. And you can see there's an area of high pressure building into the Rockies and high plains. So the air will be breathing, will be coming off the west coast and the desert states and into the western and central United States. And this is why it's going to warm up so nicely as we get into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday through Monday are 3 days where it will be much more mild and much more pleasant. But here's the catch. It's going to be windy. There's going to be some windy areas, and you can see that these are wind gusts. You see that orange and those yellow colors there? These are the predicted wind gusts through the weekend. And the numbers you're seeing are the highest predicted wind gusts. And you can see west of the divide, It's going to be pretty windy across parts of south central Wyoming, parts of Utah, back into Nevada, California, Arizona. This is a windy pattern, and the reason for that is winds aloft are pretty strong coming in from the southwest, going against the higher terrain, and that's going to squeeze the wind through the canyons and the mountain gaps, causing some gusty winds. So, yes, the weekend through Monday will be warmer, but the price we pay is a little bit of wind. However, based on how cold it is, I think a lot of you will probably say, well, I don't mind the wind too much. You can see parts of Colorado and eastern Wyoming, the wind really not all that bad this weekend, but along and near that divide is where the winds pick up. Now, we will be rewarded with these temperatures. These are the forecasted high temperatures for Sunday, and you can see 60s and 70s across eastern Montana, parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, as you get into the Dakotas. And then we've got some really warm temperatures getting into the 80s over eastern Colorado, eastern New Mexico, the panhandles, down into the desert southwest. So you can see where that ridge of high pressure and those southwest winds aloft are bringing in that warmer air for the weekend, and it will hang over into Monday. Here is the next system. The next system comes in Monday night and Tuesday. It's a large trough, but notice it's not really well organized. It doesn't have that circle or that closed structure. It's kind of a fragmented area of low pressure. So if it stays that way, we're going to see rain and snow developing late Monday, Monday night, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday, and we're going to be cooler. However, we do not have an intake into the storm with that really cold air in those northern latitudes. This is more of a Pacific weather system with the air mass coming from here instead of up here. So it's not going to be nearly as cold, but after a 3-day warm-up, late Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday, a cool down and some showers. However, behind that front, a nice area of high pressure moves in, and it's going to warm up by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday behind that system. So still expect some ups and downs, but the ups are looking better, and the downs don't look as bad. These are our forecasted temperatures behind that trough by next Friday and Saturday. So you can see another wedge of warmth comes in late next week and next weekend. So we're getting there, folks, getting there ever so slowly. Over the next 10 days, this is the forecasted precipitation over the 10-day period starting today through April 30th. Anywhere you see green and blue is above average precipitation. The brown shows below average precipitation. And what I want to highlight here is that, yes, we've got precipitation in the forecast, but this area here is still, when you look at the normals, and remember, this time of year, the frequency of rain and snow is really high on average. But even though we're going to see some precipitation, the last days of April and early May are looking a little bit drier than normal. This is a bit encouraging, a little more wet along the west coast here in the Pacific Northwest. Hopefully that will mean by early May, some of this moisture will come into the Rockies, something that we're going to keep an eye on for you. Thanks for listening and watching the Day Weather Podcast. Have yourself a good Wednesday. Stay warm again.